Hey crafty friends, this is Mai here. So today what we are going to do is we are going to assemble our Abominably Yours layered Valentine winter Yeti design. I'm going to be using my art glitter glue here for all of my gluing. And as you can see, I've got all of my pieces cut out and I've stacked them up together in the order that I want to use for gluing. Now, this design has a lot of little tinier pieces here. So we are going to work together to get this done, and we're going to kind of do it in sections. I'll speed up the video at some point, but to get us started, I'm going to work right now with this part here with the heart here and kind of like his shoes and his hands. So you can see already, let me just pull this down here. You can see already here that like his hands are the smaller piece, and then we've got like the heart here as well as his feet. So I'm going to get my glue ready here, and let's hope it doesn't clog on me since I'm making a video, of course. All right. So what I'm going to do though is I've got these 3 layers here for the heart. I'm going to add a little bit of glue here to the back of this red layer. And I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that I'm not adding it onto the white, because I want to make sure that I am getting the glue everywhere that's going to be visible or not visible through this bottom layer, which is the white of the heart that shows through. So that's why I'm gluing the red first and not gluing the white. And so I held it here between my 2 fingers to kind of line it up and give me a little bit of an edge and a ruler here, so that way I could glue it down. And I'm going to do the same thing now with this white heart. I'm going to add glue to the back, and then I'm going to add it to this layer here that really is my Yeti's shoes here. And so you can see I'm just keeping everything between my fingers, and I'm just lining it up right there. Okay, and that's perfect. All right, so now the next part that we're going to do here is we're going to add his hands. And so, like I said, this design has a couple of tiny pieces here. I'm trying to decide how I want to do it. I think I'm just going to use my tweezers. So again, that's probably a tool that I didn't say at the beginning, but I'm just going to add some glue here again to the back of this part. And let's see. It doesn't need a whole lot of glue. A little bit will go a long way because it's a small piece. And then I'm just going to kind of place it. I'm actually going to place it back here. So let me pull this back up, because when I add these hands, I kind of want to make sure that these fingers are lining up here with the edge of his arm. So I want to make sure that I add the hands right there, because if they ended up being up at the top, that would look kind of funny. All right. So I'm going to add it right there and then just kind of place it right there on the side. And I'm going to do the same thing now with this other piece. And of course I'm pressing it down. There we go. Oh, there never fails to be a dull moment over here. All right. So my glue definitely is acting up. Of course, because when I craft with it and I'm not making a video, it works fine. But when I'm making a video and I need it to work, it never wants to. All right, so same thing I'm going to do over here. Let me just make sure I'm really in the screen. I'm going to add it so it lines up right along the edge here of his arm. So that way it looks like, you know, it's coming right out there from his arm. Okay, so that is that part. I'm going to pull this off. And the next part that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to work with his face, because again, these pieces are tiny and I want to make sure that I get them glued down. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to kind of move these off to the side here for a second. And I'm going to use my glue, and let me just pull this through here. Let me just make sure. See, there's no problem there, but anyway. All right. So here we go. I'm going to add a little dot right here on the face and right kind of over there to the side. And I'm going to use my push pin again that I used to clog my glue there. And I'm just going to pick up the black dot of his eyes and just place it right down on that glue that I just put. And I'm going to do the same thing here with the kind of rosy cheeks. I'm going to add another little dot a little bit lower, and then I'm going to use my push pin again to just pick up the pink dot there and just kind of place it down. So there we got both of them. Okay, so now for the mouth, I kind of pulled that piece off, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this black piece here, and I'm holding it with my tweezers, and all I'm going to do again is just add a little bit of glue here. That was a lot, actually. And I'm going to hold it here and then just kind of press it down, and then kind of use my fingers there to help it stay. And then I'm going to add glue now to the back of this here, and then I'm going to press it down right there. Okay, and oops, I think it got stuck to my tweezers there. And so I'm going to press it down. And if you have any glue that kind of seeps through or gets stuck to your tweezers there, you just wipe it off. And if you're using art glitter glue like I am, you're going to notice that it's going to dry clear, so it'll be all right. Okay, now the next part that I'm going to do is the wording. And again, this is kind of delicate. I'm going to add glue kind of to the larger parts here where the letters are, not too much of the thinner pieces, because then that will just kind of seep through at the edging here. And I'm really just kind of being sporadic about where I'm adding it. I do want to make sure that I get a little bit out on the edges there, so that way it doesn't come up at all. And so I'm going to grab this part here with the S, and that looks good. And then I'm going to press it down here. And as you place it down, try to make sure that you are lining everything up right in the kind of bubble to give it that bubble effect of the letter with the background there. And then just press everything down. Okay. This one was probably the hardest one to remove from the mat too after cutting. Okay. And so the last part that we're going to glue down is going to be the moon here, the crescent moon. And so again, I'm going to add a little bit of glue here to the back, and you can kind of have your moon facing either way you want. Like it could be this way or it could be this way. And you can place it anywhere you want on the navy part of your picture, or if you went with a different color. Maybe you gave yours a dark gray sky. That would have been cool too. You can place it down anywhere that you want. So I'm just going to kind of leave mine right there. I kind of already placed it down, and then that looks good. All right. Okay, so that's it for kind of all of our tiny pieces. I'm going to go ahead and add the glue now too for the heart and his feet. And I'm going to press that down. And then what I'm going to do, so let me press this down here. And so now what I'm going to do is, oh, one more thing. I forgot about the snow cap parts. So let's add the glue here to the snow cap mountains, because that's also a small piece. And the reason why I do the smaller ones first, I glue them down first, is so that I don't lose them here on my table, or as I'm gluing, I don't brush them off accidentally and then they fall on the floor and then I can't find them. You know, because they might like fall underneath your table, or I don't know, they might like slide underneath something and then you can't find them, and that's frustrating because then you have to go back and recut, and nobody likes to do that. That's a waste of cardstock, and nobody likes to have to recut something. That's not fun. Okay, so now I've got all of my smaller pieces down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up all of the layers here, except for this navy layer, and I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to start gluing now all of the pieces back down. And so the reason why we're going to work this way from the bottom to the top is so that we know exactly where we're adding the glue, and so we're not trying to just glue where we think the top layer is going to go. Okay, so I'm going to speed up the video now because this is pretty straightforward, and I don't want the video to take a super long time. Okay, so it just takes a couple of minutes to get all of those layers down, but once you do, you can see how cute it kind of turns out to be here. Okay, so we're almost done. And this is where if you want to take yours a step further, then I want you to grab one of your white pens here. I've got this one, it's a white highlight pen, and then I've got this Jelly Roll one here. That's a number 10. And what you want to do is we're just going to kind of add like some white dots here in the sky to represent our stars. But before you go and put it on your actual design, you want to make sure that you've just got like an old piece of scrap paper here that's a little dark so you can see it, and just kind of give your pen a little bit of a test here, okay? Because what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of add some dots all over and just kind of add some stars. And there's no wrong way to do this. You just go ahead and start adding your dots. And if you want them to be a little bit bigger, then just kind of, let me try it this way so you guys can see. Hopefully my hand was probably blocking the light there. But just kind of go ahead and just add them anywhere that you want. And remember, like, there's no wrong way to put the stars in the sky here. You know, make as many as you want, fill the sky. But you do kind of want to, you know, make sure that they look like little circles, and not like a little slash or anything. And just kind of add them all over. And this will only probably take, you know, maybe 30 seconds or something here. But it just adds, you know, a little bit more of a design to your craft. And let's add a little bit more, maybe like right there or something. And that looks good. I'm satisfied. Okay, and so that finishes this design in this craft here. And what you can do is, I think that it is perfectly sized. If you wanted to go ahead and maybe put it like, or glue it down to, so it's about 5.5 by, let's go from the longest part here, by 4. So you could add this to maybe a 5x7 or a 4x6 card and mail it off for Valentine's Day, or, you know, give it to your loved one. Or you can make it even larger and use it as decor, okay? So there's lots of different ways that you could use this design in this craft, and I hope you enjoyed putting yours together. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and have fun crafting. Thanks for watching. Bye.